Okay, we're in on the list Amid on the Memtes. In the bottom of the page there's a Mishnah, and in the middle of the Mishnah there's 4 lines from the bottom. It says Gemara, but the question is this really a separate part of the Mishnah? Because later on when you turn the Amud, so steht over here Gemara. So in Yerushalmi, it's taka. This is a part of the Mishnah. So there's a question if this is a baraisa or if it's a Mishnah. But this part of the Mishnah talks about the how the doitus became weakened and the trouble that the people are having in the time of Mashiach. So we'll see over here. Tana Rabbanan. Pinchas ben Yair Omer. Pinchas ben Yair says, Mishachora Beis Hamikdash, Boishu Chavedim. Chavedim means the Talmidei Chachamim. A chaver is in certain communities, the Choshev people they're not Rabbonim, but they get by the Yekis they get a title chaver. In the Gemara also it says when the Gemara says Chazok al chaver sheina moitzim. The Gemara says Chazok al chaver sheina moitzim tachli dov sheina mesukin. That he takes us. Chaver is a choshev, is a title.
Also by Truma, the chaver.
That's what it says. Chazok al chaver. And Ubnei Chayden. Now Bnei Chayden also means Bnei Torah. What does Bnei Chayden got to do with Bnei Torah? Because in Pirkei Avos state, Einachol b'et Chayden al Misha Isaac b'Torah. So that's what's called over here. Bnei Chayden means the people was Torah the Yidden. V'chofu Rosham, and the heads is covered. I mean, it's they're like you don't know who they are even though. V'nidaldru Anshe Maisa, and the people that Anshe Maisa is meant Elach people was doing mitzvahs, so that they're called Anshe Maisa. They became impoverished. V'gavru Bal Izraya, and who is the Gron Starker? I mean, because they raise their heads, so to say. The Bal Izraya, people that have a strong arm. Ubal Loshen, people that can speak up, that they make statements. Ve'ein doirish, ve'ein mevakesh, ve'ein shoyel. There's no one that's looking for the needs of these people that were pushed aside. Almi ono lishoyens, on who do we have to? We used to rely on these Talmidei Chachamim and everything. But now we don't have them anymore because they were pushed aside. Is Aravina Shabashamai. Abelazar Gadol Aimer. Miyam Shechora Beis Hamikdash Shoru Chakimaya L'Mehavik Yisafraya. That means I say Chakimaya means the Rosh Yeshivas, and Safraya is the teachers, like the teacher from the young children. So the Rosh Yeshivas are becoming like the teachers in the yeshiva. V'Safraya ke Chazanaya. And the teachers became like the shamoshim in the shul. The in certain shuls, the shamas, they didn't call them shamas. It wasn't a psachosha or title. They called them chazan sheni. So the chazanaya, v'chazanaya ka'amadara, and these people, they became like the Amaratzim. The Amud Ara also even they are the Pashat the Balbatim also became of a lower level. And again, ve'ein shoyel ve'ein mevakesh, again, Amli Yeshlam Lishoyim Alavinish B'Shemayim. Now the Gemara said, "Be'ikvus Mashiach." The Gemara is going to give Simonim what of Ikvus Mashiach. So it doesn't really mean that all these things that we're going to learn a whole list of things over here that will it's just, these are things that will be happening in Ikvus Mashiach. In other words, that means to say that in Ikvus Mashiach, things aren't going to be normal. So there's a lot of things that you see something strange. It's a strange time. What's the type of Ikvus Mashiach? What's my Ikvus Mashiach? So some want to say, an interesting type I saw, some want to say that when a person is running, so his 2 feet can't be going together. So they have 1 foot going in front and 1 foot going behind. So the last thing, the mashal, that comes into the house is your back foot. And from the back foot gufa, that's the heel. So Ikvus Mashiach means that Mashiach is running to come, and he's about to come in already with the heel, with the heel that was the final part of the body. So he says, the Ikvus Mashiach, one of the things that we'll see, Damos, is chutzpah yazga. Chutzpah yazga means that chutzpah will be rampant. That'll be popular. B'yoyke ya'amer, and there'll be inflation. There'll be a big yakus. And he says as I, hagefen titen peya, v'ayayim b'yoyke. He says that there's not going to be a shortage of wine. Hagefen yitin peya, the wine production will go on, but meshikin and asach. And maybe about meshikin and asach, so there'll be a strong demand for wine. There'll be a strong demand for wine. So again, so the price of wine will go up.
Supply and demand.
Umalchus tehepech aminus. That means the government will be run by epikosim. Ve'ein teichocha. Teichochas. I mean, there wouldn't be anybody that will be able to tell them, reprimand them, to correct them, because they're mechutzafim. So they have no respect for anybody. Beis vad, yehepach luznus. That means that this is. The beis vad means he doesn't want to say the beis medish, but he said, Shaitan Pirkei Avos, he beis vad chachamim. So they had a shtibel, which the Chachamim used to sit over there, but it's going to empty out. And who will take it over? The people that the place was usually out of the city. So the people that don't want to, everyone should know what they're doing. They like that location. They said they'll take over the location where the Chachamim used to sit and learn. V'hagolu Yechorev. Golo means the cities on the boundary. Huh?
Means in the south of Israel?
I don't hear you saying.
Means in the south of Israel?
Yeah. Like well, you'll soon see. V'hagavron Yisham. Agavron means the people that lived in those cities. That's from the word gvul. You're talking. The gvul is the land, and the people that occupy the land is the goblin. And the goblin will be like thrown out of his city. This mamash was going on in Eretz Yisrael. The kibbutzim, from all the attack in October was all against the boundary cities, and those people were all pushed out of their homes. They valga sich around in different places. He said, "V'agabon yishon, v'anshe hagvul yisayvu v'meyelu v'lo yichononu." No one will care about them.
That's exactly what's happening.
V'chachmas soifrim tisrach. In other words, the chacham from the line the Torah, it'll lose its taste. It loses smell because people wouldn't have any interest in it. V'yireh yimasu, and the erech of people that Yerushalayim, they'll become despised. No one will respect them. V'emes tehei nederes. And the honesty will become lost, will become missing. Neder means disappeared. U'ne'orem p'nei zekenim yarbinu, and young people will insult the old people. Zekenim yamdu mipnei ketanim. The old people will give respect to the young, these young zhulikas, so to say.
Troublemakers.
And ben menavel of, a son will insult his father, and bas kama be'ima, a daughter will stand up against her mother, and kala b'chamoisa, a daughter-in-law against a mother-in-law. Oive ish anshe beisa, who will be the person's enemy? His own family will be his enemy. Pnei hadar, kipnei hakelef. The pnei hadar will be like dogs. So what's meant? They'll be like dogs. So there's a story. In America, in the last generation, there were the Litvish Rosh Yeshivas. So just like now, from as you saw, they come out to raise money. They're here in California, other places. So there was a Rosh Yeshiva. His name was Rabbi Wasserman. Mm-hmm. Rabbi Wasserman came to America, and when they, he had to meet him with Balabatim and everything, and he saw rabbis in America. So they asked him, what is his impression of America? So he said, now he understands the Gemara. The Gemara says that Pnei Ador Kipnei Akelef. What shall Kipnei Akelef? He says, you come into a place, you meet a Rav, the Rav is a Choshev Rav and everything, and then there's the Balabatim. Wer feared Vemen? Who is the Rav fearing the Balabatim, or is the Balabatim fearing the Rav? So he says, stell dir vor, you see a Moshel, geht a Balbas, with a dog. So the dog left him for us. The dog runs ahead. But then when it comes to the corner, the dog stellt sich up to see where the Balbas is going to go. He said, that's Pnei Ador, Pnei Akelev. You think that the Rav is running, he's leading, right? But then he turns around and sees, where's my Balabatim? What do they say?
What do they want?
So he says, that was the pshat. Pnei Ador, he said, that's what we in America, Rabbanim mit Balabatim. Okay, let's see weiter. Haben einem is bayish me'aviv. It says, the son, his own father, he wasn't embarrassed. It's chayzkelach. Well, what does my old man say? I mean, the generation gap, so to say. But yesh lanu lishayin. So things are not normal. So how are we going to get through this? So he says, Alavina Shabashamayim. So this is the simonim that when things are not normal, that's a raya that it's Mashiach sighting.
Only problem here, it doesn't say for how long that will take place.
No.
So if you only took place for a week, then you know Mashiach's
I
coming.
remember them
Okay,
saying,
schleppen.
I'm sure you all remember them
No.
saying, Kama Pamim. I was like, all the simonim for something to say to help Moshe right.
He said Saita.
Yeah.
A lot of time he said that they'll know Chal Shemana, but he said how should he answer them?
It sounds like it's a bad thing to rely only on the Eibishter.
That's the only thing you have.
Rabbi, it sounds like it's a bad thing to rely only on the Eibishter.
No, he said it's the only thing they have left.
I don't understand what he's saying.
He's saying that we have nothing else but. Only. All these other things are because of all these bad things. We only have the last.
There was once somebody, his wife gave birth to a girl. So he went into his Rebbe and he told the Rebbe, my wife had a girl. So the Rebbe says, no, bas tchila simi yafu abonim. In front of the
Yeah,
Gemara,
yeah, of
and
course.
that because normally if a son is born first, he gets two chalakim in the Yerusha.
Right.
But if it's a bas tchila, siman yafla bonim. Next year, wife had again a girl. She went again to the Rebbe, so the Rebbe said again, bas tchila, siman yafla bonim. Then the third year, again the wife had a girl, so again she said, Rebbe, ich hab schon genug Simonim, jetzt will ich ein bisschen bonim meichet. So here, you have the Ikvis Shicha, all the Simonim, but when is it?
But they said that once a person came to the Rebbe and they asked it for the Rebbe, the Rebbe said, Bas Tchila is Simen Yafel the bottom. The Zex is given Engel. Wir sind gerade 5 Engel.
Was a man for hell.
Yeah.
Is that it?
But the Rebbe, by us, she was complete. The guy wanted to have a son. So the Rebbe said, Bas Tchila is Simen Yafel the bottom. After his 5 girls, then he had his boy.
Oh, okay.
Ich habe gerne eine Brache, ein Hoch am Sohn, der hat Zwilling, 2 Mädels. Sagt er, was ist das? Und er hat gesagt, steht an Ben ist Beis Bekebes.
Okay, now, in the Mishnah of Megillah, that when the Churban started, so it starts telling you that it's going back in the history of the Churban when the Romans sent Aspasionis. Aspasionis was the first general that
Came to destroy, circle it.
he encircled Yerushalayim. And then he later went back and became the king, and his son Titus took over. And the Gemara tells you that they made gezeirus that time, that they shouldn't make such fancy weddings. So the chosin and the kala used to have certain things that they wore, and like crowns and everything. So the Gemara says now, going back to the Mishnah. So the Gemara Amar Rav, that this that we said over there, that there were geyser on a Taurus Chasanim. So it depends what the crown was made from. Says Elishon Elishol Melech v'Gofris, Abel Shahadas v'Shal Bered Mutter. They used to make it. Melech means salt, but it doesn't mean salt of it. It means it was like a stone, like a crystal, like it looked like rock salt, and Gofris also means some sulfur that they used to make it. Abel Shahados, Hodos is from Adasim, right. And B'Shal Vered is roses. This is mutter. Shmuel Amar, and Shmuel said, Avshal Hodos, B'Shal Vered Asa, but Shal Kanim, B'Shal Chilos is mutter. Kanim means like from bamboo. They used to make some type of a crown. Levi says, Avshal Kanim, B'Shal Chilos Asa. V'chein Toni Levi, B'mas Nite, in the Braisa, Avshal Kanim, B'Shal Chilos is Asa. That the things that they instituted at that time to cut down on the extravagance of the Chosin Kala. Then it says that there were guys that are irus. So, practically, Gemara, my irus. What does irus mean? So, Gemara says that Amr Abulazar Tavla Dechad Puma. Tavla means a drum. A drum. Now, how does a drum work? You have a round barrel, let's say, and you put some type of material on top and a material on the bottom, and based on the materials that are on, that's the sound that gets produced. So when it's if it has only opening, one side is open and one side is closed, it gives a better sound of it. So he's saying it's a tavla. Where's the Roshman? Tavla the chat puma. In other words, that it has only
one cover,
one side open. And Zakta Gemara, and Abba Barabhuna, Ovidre Lebrei, Tambura. Tambura means what they call today a tambourine. What the women have a tambourine. Osa Avura, so his father came, Tavre, and he broke it. Amalei, he said to him, Michlef betavra dechat puma. This could get mixed up. What you made looks like a tavla with one cover. Zil obedrei apuma dechatzva, or apuma de kapiza. Make it on instead of having like the regular barrel, make it on a pitcher. A pitcher is open on one side. Over there, put a shmat over it, and bang on it. Something more. The Pumash show Titus. Pumash of Titus means when the soldiers of Titus came in, and Titus penetrated the wall. He came into the Beis Hamikdash. Gozu al Ataras Kalas. So the Gemara, my Ataras Kalas. What is Ataras Kalas? Ataras Kalas also means a crown that the Kala used to wear. Omar Rabbi Bar Bachanan, Omar Rabbi Yechanan, Ir Shazov. Ir Shazov means, just like, they have the song, Yushalayim Shel Zahav.
Yeah.
So Ir Shazov means that they used to make a picture of an Aristocratic city that resembled the city, and the Kala would wear that on her crown. That the Gemara, Tanya Nami Hakum learn. Ezel Ataras Kalas. What is Ir Shazov? Abu Oisa Keeper Shal Milos. You can make it from material, but you can't make it from gold. Tana, we learned the Bryson that Av Shal Chupes Chasanan Gozu, and my Chupes Chasanan. What is Chupes Chasanan? Zahidus Hamutzhavas. Zahidus Hamutzhavas means that it's like a material that has gold, strings of gold in it. Not to have any gold. That's why today all the collars don't wear gold. And the crown that they wear, there's no gold and there's no silver. That's the reason. Tanya Nami Hachi, we also like this. Ego and Chupes Chasanan, Zahidus Hamutzhavas. Abu Isa papyrus, v'toiga bo kol mashi yisam. You can make a papyrus is also some type of a crown, and you can hang it up, but it shouldn't be in the crown itself. You can have like strings of gold hanging from it, but in the crown itself there shouldn't be any gold in there. Okay. Now the Gemara tells that another thing that the Geyser was that they shouldn't teach Yavanis. The question is, what's the problem with Yavanis? So Tanur Rabbanan, Kishetzaru Malchus Beis Hashmonai Zeh al Zeh. The Hashmonaim, the head of the Hashmonaim had two sons, and the two sons were fighting who should take over. And one of them was Hulkinis, so Hoya Hulkinis mi v'chutz, v'arastra bulas mi b'fnim. In other words, they were inside one was outside of the wall of Yerushalayim, and one was inside of the wall of Yerushalayim. Now, it's a very interesting thing. They needed a Korban Tamid in the Beis Hamikdash. Where do you get a Korban Tamid in the Beis Hamikdash? So there's a kupa in the Beis Hamikdash that's known as where they put in the shkolim. Everyone gave shkolim, and from that kupa they used the money to buy animals. Now in the city of Yerushalayim, there was no animals around there, so they brought the animals from outside. So it says over there, B'chol yom v'yom, every day, hoyim mishalshon dinorim b'kupa, u'mayim lahem tamidim. The says that the ones that were inside and the ones that were outside, they were fighting between themselves. But they had a certain respect for the Beis HaMikdash. The Beis HaMikdash,
Business is business.
they needed the kabbonos. So they would take money from the Lishka, and they would let it down the wall to the other side, and they would give them an animal to have for the korban. Even those people that wanted to come in and destroy and take over, but they had respect for the Beis HaMikdash. So there was one old man on the inside. Shehoya Make B'Chachmas Yivonis. Now, Chachmas Yivonis doesn't mean Greek. Doesn't mean the language. There was a certain sign language that the sophisticated people used that language. Not the just like in English is what you call the vernacular. The vernacular means the proste Sprach, you know. And then the Chosher mentioned they had their own language. So there was a Zokan that he knew this Chosher language, this signs. Laws lahem. Laws means he sent the message from the word Laz. He sent a message, b'chokmas Yavonis, in the sign language from the Greek. Omaram, he said today, Kol zman she'oiskim ba'avodah einu sorim b'yodchem. As long as you're going to support the avodah in the Beis HaMikdash, you're never going to conquer them, because the schus in the Beis HaMikdash will be what people are inside. So you know what? So L'mocha, the next day, they got the message, and when they came down, the money came down to them to send up the shepsel. So Shol Shulu Lahem Dinarim B'Kupa V'Helu Lahem Chazir, and they sent up a Chazir. But the Chazir, Vice says, didn't want to go because the Chazir knew what they want to use. So the Chazir had also respect. So he says the same. Kima shegia l'chatzi chayma. The Chazir coming out is climbing up the wall. So once it came up to mid wall, no siponov, so it stuck its nails into the wall. It didn't want to go. B'nizdaza Eretz Yisrael Abba Meya Palsa, and there was an earthquake. Gan Eretz Yisrael was shaking. Also, sure, at that time, they said, "Ara Adam sheyagada chazayim, v'ara Adam sheyamid l'bnei chacham shebonos." That's when they made this gezeda, because if no one would raise chazayim, they wouldn't have send a chazar. But they said there were farmers that had it, so they made these two things that it shouldn't, to know that they don't belong in the Beis HaMikdash. Well, also Shana Shaninu, and for that year when this story happened, so we learned Ma'asu Bo Oina Migana Serifim Ushtei Alechem Mibikas Ein Seicha. That means that's the same. The Shtei Alechem is the korban that you have to bring a Shavuos. That's the Shtei Alechem. And the Oimer you bring on Pesach. So these things are supposed to come from fields that are near Yerushalayim. Why from fields that are near Yerushalayim? Because it's fresh. The closer it is, the fresher it is. And over there, they couldn't get anything fresh near, so they had to go far away to get wheat and barley for the Shtei Alechem and for the. So now the Gemara is going to ding sich. The Gemara is going to ask the kasha eini shenit azay. So okay, we'll leave that over for tomorrow, Mr. Shem.